Football with friends is fun as hell. My name is Alex Dunlap here with Cody Carpentier on a big Friday, a Final Takes Friday here on Orange Bloods Live. Everybody knows the rules of Final Takes. We'll start out with our first topic, and then we'll get into the Final Takes topics. You guys can vote on who you think has the best takes. They will be the king of Final Takes for the week. After getting a bunch of ties, I won last week, so Cody's coming back this week to try and even things out. Cody, on the thumbnail, we put a picture of Colin Simmons with a Colin Simmons spring football update. Of course, the all-world, all-everything edge rusher for the Longhorns. I was just so for the war room yesterday, I was just trying. We talked about it, how we did not get access to practice on Thursday because it was a rainy day in downtown Austin, and they had to move inside the bubble. And so the bubble is so small that there's nowhere for media to stand to watch, where they're not having to shoo people around and tell you where the routes are coming and all this. So no media. Hopefully we'll have some next week. So basically we're all just trying to text anybody we know around the team about what might have happened at practice. And so I was asking, because we talked about on Tuesday how Colin Simmons was working with that second unit. And I was just like, I know that means nothing, right? I know it means nothing. He's one of the two most important players on the defense. It truly means nothing. But I was just like, why? I just said, what I literally asked on the text, I'm like, was that just the coaches screwing with the media? Or, I'm just like, I just kind of wondered why, and this person said, it basically said, he said he's been cleared, but they're still going to hold him back a little bit to start. And I assume he means like in the spring. And I didn't get any follow up on exactly what he'd been cleared of, but apparently there was something that was holding him back during winter conditioning. From the context clues and from what I can kind of gather, I got the feeling it has something to do with like an ab issue of some kind. But I was told it's nothing to worry about. But if we do see, I just wanted to put it out there as far as Colin Simmons. If we do see anything where he might be held back in practice, or some practices where he might not participate in certain stuff, I was told by somebody that he's been cleared. So he's been cleared to come back. Obviously that means something went down. I don't know if it happened during workouts or if it happened during weightlifting or what, or whether it was something from the season. But whatever it was, he's been cleared of it. It's fine. It's nothing to worry about. But as we move forward, we could maybe see some more weird stuff like that. And I think that might be the reason why they just have him run in there with the second group and stuff like that to start. Now, I don't know if that makes any sense to you.
I think that makes perfectly fine sense. I don't honestly think that they think too much into, like, I'm sure they know, like, oh, the media is going to be here. Like, our availability is going to be, for 10 minutes here at this time. Like, but I don't think they go out of their way to, like, purposefully do anything. They probably just say, hey, we're going to do this drill, so that we're not really giving them much information. But I don't think they go like, hey, the media's here, like, let's make sure that, we throw some curveballs. I don't think they've ever thought that. At least I don't think that's how Sarkisian kind of runs his practices and stuff. As far as the Simmons stuff goes, again, like, whatever the extent of the injury really was or is, I'm glad it's being taken care of now. And I'm glad that they're giving him, a roadway to recover to the best of his extent. He's a guy, and it's cliche, but when you get to a certain point and your skill set's to a certain level and you've accomplished enough, I think he's at the level where he's accomplished enough. We've seen, all right, he's a guy, all right. And then you don't really enter the Allen Iverson area where it's like practice,
bubble wrap for the
practice.
right. Yeah.
It's like practice. Like, this guy's a Ferrari, and yeah, you might want to improve him in a couple of different areas, but he's a Ferrari and it's March. Like, just get that thing, change the oil, make sure the tires are new, like, keep on, just, you're not racing yet. You're just doing trial runs. You're just getting the car out there, making sure that, it doesn't, the brakes don't seize up on you because you're not driving it enough. Like, that's all you're doing here. So I'm not reading too much into it. But whatever, I just hope that it's giving him plenty of time and hope they're taking their time, which I believe they are.
A couple other things. I just asked about the defense and the defense in general, right? And uh, somebody just said, "I'm like, did it look different on day 2 than it did on day 1?" And he texted back. He's like, "It's going to look different every day, dude."
Yep.
I think it goes to what you were saying about how they got all these new guys. What, 27 new faces? Something, is that what Sark said? With the transfers plus the high school guys, it's like they got to see how these guys look, how they look standing next to each other, all this stuff. He said that they've only had a lot of these guys here since the start of the semester. So I mean, so they haven't seen them on a football field until right now. They're getting a look at them. But he texted. I'm not sure if I said this on the show yesterday, but he texted. He said, "Remember they had Bond and Golden going second and third team 2 in the spring. LOL." So
Yeah.
it's like, I asked about Hero Canoe and about how I'm like, so it means that Hero Canoe shouldn't read into anything into him being with the first group on the first day of practice. And to that, I got an answer that was more definitive. He said he definitely doesn't think that Hero Canoe is going to be a starter.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was maybe more interesting than anything about Simmons. Was Hero Canoe just like they just put him out there with the first group? Like I don't know. Like it was Canoe, it was Alex January, which January I can believe it. I mean, we heard, he's had good camp last fall. And I think even last spring he had a good camp. But to see Canoe starting DT, I mean, even Zena out there was like, but it aligns with the Colin Simmons conversation. So I get it. The rest of the defense is pretty much, Ant, Lafau, Gilbo, Muhammad, McDonald, Taft. Like it's pretty in line. Wardo Mack in the nickel. All right, cool. I get it. With the back end injuries to Derek Williams. The Hero Canoe one, though, it's like you could have very easily just said, all right, well, it's going to be Melvin Hills and Alex January because they're the two guys that were on the roster last year.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it's January and Canoe, which is like, again, one of the things I brought up earlier this week, which is when they have practice, is it you saw that, but then later in practice, we also didn't see, and the coaches got to see with their film, right? They also mismatched all these guys up together. So it was January and Hills. It was a mixed match of every defensive lineman, every nose, and every D tackle together. You just happen to see that. That's what I ask.
Right.
That's my question. That's my thought, is that they want to see, especially at this time of year, all these guys, all these different combinations together. That just happens to be the two combinations that they threw at you guys, or that you happen to be there.
But it always, I mean, well, the thing is that was a pursuit drill, and those pursuit drills have generally been pretty telling. You know what I mean? And they only did one for the ones and one for the twos. You know what I mean? And then they didn't do it anymore. And it was pretty obvious who the ones were and stuff, because you saw the Michael Taff and Anthony Hill group. You know what I'm saying? And then you saw the other group, and but this guy's saying no. He was just pretty adamant, like Canoe's not going to start, and he could be wrong. You got to remember that this is just once. Like this is just each of these quotes is just coming from one source or another. It's like they're wrong sometimes, but this guy's generally pretty good, and he doesn't think so. So he said I think it'll definitely be Alex January and Cole Brevard at first.
Really?
Yeah.
Is Shaw just out of shape, you think? I don't think there was any. You didn't have a single. You didn't even type Shaw's name into your report on what day was it? Tuesday.
Well,
and then the War Room last night, you mentioned him one time.
Yeah.
And he's 350 pounds.
Yeah, I know, man. I we didn't get to see enough of practice for me to really. And to be completely
Not
honest,
even that. Like, you didn't hear anything. Nobody's heard anything. You know.
yeah. Alan McKay is asking, is the D line going to be larger than last season's? The answer to that is definitely yes. Yes. Larger. That's one of my big takeaways from being at practice. I'm like, if you're worried about the defensive line, at least know this: they're bigger. These guys are. I mean, I'm standing next to Jermaine Lole at Texas Pro Day, who, by the way, didn't participate in Pro Day and was there just in street clothes, kind of watching as a fan. I should have asked him what's going on.
That's odd. You would have thought, unless he's hurt, that he would have.
Even if he's hurt, he should be out there wearing the Texas Pro Day gear and stuff like that and talking to scouts and making himself available.
I don't want to get sidetracked, but did you see the Watson kid from Florida run his 40 yesterday?
Dude, the fat guy?
At 464 pounds, he ran like a 5.68 or something. 5.86.
Oh, was it? Okay. So the thing that I saw saying that he ran like a sub 5 is just a meme.
No. It was sub 6. But the thing, I can't remember who tweeted out last night, but they said like pound, velocity, they said velocity wise, what he did, 464 pounds running, I think it was a 5.86. Comparing that to a 240-pound linebacker would make the linebacker running a 3.03.
A what?
A 3.03. That's what I did. I said I was laying in bed and I go,
that's some funny math. Right? That's some funny math right there. There has to be some kind of diminishing returns as far as the way that, as far as the regression on that particular, transformation there.
What's more likely? He's drafted by somebody in the NFC East to stop tush push, or he's drafted by the Eagles as a fullback.
Do you think that they're gonna? Do you think they'll get 20? Do you think they'll get 24 teams to vote against the tush push?
I hope not. It's so stupid. Because as soon as you open the can of worms of like eliminating a play like that, like I just feel like it's just potentially opens the door for more stuff, which I hate, obviously.
Do you have any thoughts on any of the competition committee proposals coming up?
I'll be honest, I haven't looked at. I think that was the only one I saw. I didn't look at the rest of them.
Okay, that's on.
Which is the failure of my due diligence, I should say.
That's on. Well, you know this goes down on Sunday, so they're going to talk about it on Sunday. They have they're gonna. Okay, so they're going to Palm Beach for the March 30th. So that's Sunday, right? Yeah. And then I think they're going to give their kind of oral presentations about this stuff, the teams that are sponsoring each proposal. And then on Monday, they'll vote on them. I think the big one is making the dynamic kickoff permanent.
I think they should do it.
And then I just don't care.
I mean, yeah, I don't really care. I prefer the old school way, but then I think the old school way they'll have this stupid touchback thing, and it'll be just so many touchbacks. I feel like we just got a lot more kick returns last year, and I think that there'll be more creativity as time goes on. Where like if you allow these special teams coordinators to continue to be creative within the new rule, I think you'll get some scores. Whereas last year, obviously, the touchdowns were way down in comparison to previous years. So I just stick with it. Just do it and stick with it.
How about this one for the expanded use of replay assist to advise on-field officials for specific objective aspects of a play and or to address game administration issues when clear and obvious video evidence is present. So they'll get pinged. The refs will get pinged. And this will enable them to pick up flags.
Please.
Because they're saying that, so like, for example, if unnecessary roughness was called based on forcibly contacting a runner when he's out of bounds and there's clear and obvious video evidence that the runner was not out of bounds, or the call was based on forcibly hitting a defensive player's head or neck area and there's no clear and obvious video evidence that the defender did not make any contact with the defensive player's head or neck area, then the expanded use of replay assist would allow the officials to ping down there and say, pick up that flag.
I don't care. Listen, I am for having 2 extra sets of eyes on every single game, every single day, and having full autonomy to buzz down and tell a ref when they're wrong. And I don't care about the ego stroke. I don't care about they shouldn't be penalized if they're wrong. You just call the game to your best abilities. And if you get pinged for anything, wrong ball spot, turnover, flag, doesn't matter, anything, you can get pinged. Because you should not have, I think we should get to a place where you're, and it'll never be perfect, but to a point where it's not like you're watching a game and you yourself feel like you're a better referee from your couch than the guy on the field in like certain situations, like, or not even that, but like I can tell that was clearly a fumble, but that some reason it just never got replayed or whatever the thing is, right? Or whatever the situation was, or the ball spot, catch, whatever. You should never have a fan having like, not even a fan, like analysts being like, that's so clear cut, but the ref missed it. And there's no, like, we can ping down for this, but we can't ping down for that. It's like, no, a full blown open it up. If something can be, does that make sense?
No,
100%.
I mean, well, see, I mean, this isn't quite like that, but what I
No, I'm
mean,
saying that's what I would agree with. So
right,
I'm in line with everything.
right. But I think for me, I'm kind of the same as you. It's like there's certain things that I would like to see in football and society and in my community, stuff like that, that like some that I don't think the people in charge are going far enough to do the things that I would like, right? But
Yeah.
as long as as long as they're moving that way, I'm fine, right? Like for me, I'm unapologetically, and I'm a Bill Belichick guy. I think that a coach should be able to replay, to throw a flag and have anything replayed. Anything. I think you could say he was being held on that play. I'm throwing the red challenge flag, and I want you to rewatch that play and make sure that my defensive end wasn't getting held. Like I would like that, but this doesn't have anything to do with expanding with the ability of the coaches to do anything. But if it does allow replay assist in these situations where clear and obvious on field evidence is provided, it does allow them to say, ping him down there and say, hey, pick up that flag. So, and the thing we know, here's the other thing that we know about replay assist. It doesn't make the games longer or anything. Those guys are really fast with it. So, yeah, I'm down for it for sure. One other thing from the war room, as how we got into that out of the war room stuff, I have no idea. But I I was just another thing on defense. I was like, all right, so if we can't take anything away from it, can we take anything away from Ty Anthony Smith? He was with the second group on 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 Tuesday, and I was kind of expecting to see Brad Spence out there, maybe from Arkansas. I was half expecting to see Brad Spence out there with the starters. And I didn't really, I was just like, what does it mean that Ty Anthony Smith was out there? And I didn't get a good answer to it, but I'm wondering, can you take anything away from these two texts that I got in response? One is Ty is light, man, has to get bigger. And then followed up with, remember, Spence was hurt when he arrived. Do you remember Brad Spence being hurt when he got here? I can't say that I remember that.
It wasn't like a forearm or something, was it?
I just don't.
For some reason, that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, we talk so much on here. We're here every day talking about this stuff for an hour, so it could have been something that slipped. There's a million things we've discussed, and half the time they'll forget. I'll have to go back and look, and have to go back and look and be reminded what I think of, like Jamari and Carlton or whatever, and just Brad Spence. Did we ever talk about him coming in injured? But I don't remember it. So that'll be just, I think it's interesting that somebody said that Ty Anthony Smith is light. After I got the text, I looked at it and he's listed as 220. So it's not like he's listed as like super tiny.
Remember last year, though, he gained 27 pounds or 23 pounds between spring ball and fall ball. And you told me you didn't think he was actually that big. Or you said somebody told you they didn't think he was that big, maybe.
I'm not sure he looks like he weighs 220 right now.
See?
So we'll see how things go with that. Like that'll be one of the things I'll be most interested in seeing when we get back out to practice is just Brad Spence, his level of availability, you know, how he's working in being because dude, he's a really good player. He was a super big addition. I would have figured that he would have been in line to if not start, at least kind of be in that David Benda kind of role. And
Well, I mean, that's what we talked about the last couple of weeks was preparing for spring ball was that we thought Spence would be ahead of LaFau.
and he just wasn't. So I'm just curious to see. And I'm looking at the roster here. I'm not sure that he wears number 14. I'm not sure I really noticed him. So that's something else that we'll keep in mind as we move forward into this. I know you had some NFL draft stuff in yours. I had some NFL draft stuff in mine. I thought it was interesting. We have some final takes. Things to talk about. We have a bunch of stuff. We have a great sponsor. It's called Texas Beef Traders. Have you been to Texas Beef Traders? Today would be a great day to go. If I didn't have this, Cody, legit, if I didn't have this show, I would be up there with my son right now. That's what I would be doing. There's nothing that my son would love more than going up there, having Darren cook him a rare steak and sitting there and eating it like a little king with some kind of Austin made like cane sugar soda that he has up there. You know, all the drinks and stuff Darren has. You don't even have to go up there and drink beers or, any of the other drinks that they might have up there. Wines, delicious wines. Darren used to be a winemaker before he moved back to Texas to do all this elite beef trading. Texas Beef Traders, right there in the heart of Lakeway, right off of Loman's Crossing. The beef is elite. It's amazing. We have our beef jerky for sale. There's a link in the description below where you can order it from Texas Beef Traders. They've just been great partners for us, and we can't say enough about them. Like, I don't think that you'll really know how good Texas Beef Traders is, though, until you just try it. It's just one of those things. So make sure you buy local. Make sure you buy from good people. Make sure you buy from good ranches. Make sure you buy from ranches that don't inject these animals with a bunch of nonsense that you can't be putting in your body. All right? All right. Texas Beef Traders, TexasBeefTraders.com. Get your 10% off. And if you live in the Austin area, call up Darren, make an order. He'll bring it to your house. TexasBeefTraders.com.
Alex, I'm not going to do this. I would never do this to a Texas Beef Traders steak, but if you ever wanted to follow a fantastic account on Instagram, because I know we followed Chef Andrew Gruel, Chef Reactions. There's a lot of good chef accounts. I texted you one before the show. It's one that I found while, letting loose in the bathroom, I guess some would say. And her name is Katie Church, Kaydee Church. She made bagels. She made the world's best bagel. And she took a filet mignon, cut it in half, and put a hole in the middle. And she grilled these fillets into a bagel. And
hold on, wait. Can we just say, what do you call a bagel?
A bagel?
A bagel? Is that what y'all say?
What did I say? Bagel?
Bagel?
I get bagel people hate how I say it. I don't know how I say it. That's wrong, but
I think most people say bagels. I think I say, does anybody in the chat say bagel?
Bagel? Do I got like a bah?
Yeah, you sound like a north. Wait, how did
bagel?
Yeah, I think that's sort of like the upper Midwest, kind of like Chicago suburb mom accent, right? I think that's kind of the same as you Minnesota guys.
Nonetheless, bagel. She made a good bagel. She took a filet mignon, cut it in half, put circles in the middle of it, cut circles out of the middle of it, made that. And then I think she put like some avocado or something, or maybe some hollandaise.
No, I saw it, man. You sent me that thing like 3 times and you just keep forgetting that you've sent it to me.
But she also did one where she took like a ribeye and she sliced it, like she cooked it and then she sliced it open a little bit and she stuck a hot dog inside. And she's like, I'm going to make the best hot dog. And she put a hot dog inside of a ribeye and called it like a hot dog bun. And then she recently just did a picanha one that I just watched that looked pretty fantastic. But it's another great, meat only channel. A lot of them out there, but
Dude, yeah. Well,
Don't wreck your meat though. If you're going to Texas Beef Traders, don't wreck it like
yeah.
that.
Well, I'm not sure it would wreck it. Like it looked pretty good. She grilled it, and then she put like cream cheese on there, and then everything but the bagel seasoning on there. Took the other bagel, put it on top. It's like dang. That girl knows what she's doing. All right, you want to get to final takes?
Let's get the final takes.
Only took us 25 minutes, but of course we always enter with football, no filler, except for a little bit of beef.
All right, where should we start? You want to start?
Yeah. Percentage chance we see Shedeur Sanders really slide in the draft, a la Johnny Manziel, Aaron Rodgers, etc.
5%.
Okay. Okay. It's
5% because the quarterback class is, I don't think Sanders and Dart are that far apart. And I think that you have a couple of teams right now that are kind of sitting, kind of going towards the draft on the verge of being caught with their pants around their ankles. And I think it's going to cause a little bit of a stir when they realize that the Jets and Saints are also in the bidding for a quarterback as well. And I'm referring to the Giants and the Browns. And the Giants more so have protected themselves than the Browns by acquiring Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson. But the Browns, not in the good spot, I'd say, especially if they're not going to get Shedeur. The Jets, the Saints, I think the Steelers are looking at quarterback, and the Seahawks are probably low-key looking at quarterback. So I think there's enough teams in there that if Shedeur doesn't go 2 and doesn't go 3, someone's going to move up, whether even it's the Saints jumping over the Jets or something like this.
Okay.
And if he gets past there, I could see the Steelers making a little bit of a play as well to get ahead of the Seahawks. So, and I think that could happen regardless. And I think Dart's going to probably force his way into that top 25 as well.
Okay.
Just because I think there's a tier break for the majority of the league between Cam and Shedeur, and there's 0 tier break, or if there is, very slight, between Shedeur and Jackson Dart. Remember, Shedeur's private pro day is like next week, so we haven't even heard that buzz yet. And we have had some good buzz from Dart yesterday. Cam's was last week or earlier this week, so I think we still got some buzz coming for Shedeur. So I'm going to go 5% on that because of the build of this class.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I think you run this draft out 10 times, and I think it happens once. I'm going to say it's a 10%er.
It's fair.
You're saying more like it's got to be 20 times for this thing to run out once. It's a distinct possibility. Nobody thought it was going to happen to Rodgers. Some people thought Rodgers was going to go 1 that year. What was that, to San Fran?
Yeah, and that was Alex Smith.
It was Alex Smith. So,
I mean, he doesn't have baggage like Johnny, and he didn't go to JUCO like Aaron.
It's so fun. It's like the JUCO don't even matter now because you got the incarnate word guy going number 1 overall. It's like I know it's not JUCO, but it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Yeah.
All right. What is yours?
Only 1 practice this week. You think you'll get swindled and only have 1 more media availability this spring?
No. We'll have it. It'll be either 2 more or 3 more.
Is that standard? 3.5 more of them?
3.5.
That's the number. All right.
Yeah, 3.5 is the number. Like if we own, there's no way, because we would have had this one and Thursday, and then there would have been at least 1 the next week, and then maybe the 1 the week after. So what I think what we'll get is we'll get probably maybe 2 next week, and then maybe 1 the week after. Cross your fingers and hope for it. But that one, the week after, will be one where they won't be wearing. It'll be probably after the first sort of pseudo scrimmagey one, on that Saturday. And so they'll let us back on that Tuesday when they'll just have shorts, t-shirts, and helmets and like a walkthrough. And it won't be a very good practice to watch.
Fair play. I'll take it.
All right, let's see here.
When's the last time we got through all of our final takes on a show?
I'm not sure that we've ever gotten through all of our final takes.
I got a good feeling today.
Let's see. How about this one? Do you like it that the rumors are swirling that Texas Ohio State opening weekend is going to be for big noon kickoff?
Yes. I do. because
I hate these 11 a.m. kickoffs.
here's why I'll tell you I do. Because it's going to be late August, and it can get a little. It's not cold, but it can get a little bit nipply at like 7, 8 p.m. and the game goes till 10 p.m. If it's a night game, it can get a little bit nipply
In
in
Ohio?
the fall. I mean, dude, it's the Midwest. It can get and Ohio's a toss-up state for weather like that. Like, I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be a great day for football, but I could see it dipping into like the lower 50s at
What?
like 9, 10, 100%, 9, 10 p.m.
Well,
And
at the
so I
beginning
think
of
a
September?
high noon kick. I think you're going to pull off like a 69, 70, 71 and sunny, beautiful day. It's going to be perfect because Texas boys are going to be just, heat stroking for the last 2 weeks. And then they're going to go up there and it's going to be a beautiful day and they're going to get a little burst of energy. I like it. I think big noon kickoff sucks, but I think that Texas being on it against Ohio State can go into their backyard on this Big Ten, basically Big Ten TV and give them a little butt kicking. I like it.
Okay, here's the two reasons that I don't like it. I don't like it because I just don't like big noon kickoff. And
Same.
I think that the number 1 versus the number 2 team in the country on the first week of the season should be the nightcap. It should be the big finish,
Yep.
right? Um, I don't like it because, and this is more from the perspective of thinking about it if I'm watching it as a fan, right? If Texas manages to lose, the season won't be over, right? But you're going to have your first Saturday of college football just, not ruined, but you're not going to have as much interest in watching Clemson, LSU, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be like, we lost. It's like, you're going to want to go out and walk the dog and stuff like that. Like, I feel like it would take away from the rabidness of that first weekend. Generally, you get to play a gimme or a cupcake in that game. Now, if you win, the jubilation through the rest of the game, through the rest of the day, saying we're in the catbird seat, all this, we're on the, this, we have dominion over all of this territory, man. All these teams that are playing right now are now looking up at us. That's a really good feeling. But I'm always a little bit worried about that. And then but the one thing I do like about it is I do think there's something to be said about the shoe at night.
Yep.
And if you can avoid playing there at night, I think that you would take the opportunity just to not play there once those lights click on.
There's literally no other game on Saturday. It's the LSU and Clemson game. That's it. Everything else, I mean, Alabama, Florida State, tell yourself a story, but Florida State, I mean, we have no idea what that's even going to look like. Those are the 3 games. Everything else is completely garbage.
But
And then
there's some on Sunday.
Sunday, but that's not Saturday. That's Sunday.
Right.
It's a whole different day. You know how the days come around. You're like, all right, what are we going to watch today? It's like we got the stack of the schedule, and it's going to be like one game. But you get the first game. You get the big. I think kind of that can work in the inverse. You get the big group of people that are like itching for football, and the night before is going to be. What is it going to be? It's going to be like
Isn't
App
that
State and Charlotte.
I think Baylor and Auburn might be one of those night games.
Before that, Baylor Auburn's on Saturday as well.
That's on. Well, that's kind of a good one, I think. I'll love to watch an SEC team play Baylor.
Friday's Georgia Tech, Colorado the night before.
Okay.
So not great, but I think you'll get a good boost there. I think it'll be good weather. So right. I like the noon kickoff. Like you, I also hate big noon kickoff.
Fair enough.
All right. I think you had this one in here from earlier this week, but I'm going to pop it up. Who's the highest drafted player from each class of current Longhorns? So 26, 27, 28, and 29.
Oh, geez. Well, dude, this is like a math equation.
No. You just got to pull up the scholarship board and you got to run it. Okay. So next year's draft, the highest drafted player.
Okay, but we're not.
And Hill.
Okay, just let me wrap my head around it a little bit. So next year, no Arch Manning in that class.
Correct.
We're talking about guys who are either juniors or seniors right now.
Yep. So I think in conversation,
Definitely Ant Hill.
yeah, it's Ant Hill, unless Malik Muhammad doesn't have the build, and if he would have to have a historic season. I don't think he would still get there because he's rather undersized. DeAndre Moore would have to be prolific.
Yeah,
And
he's not.
I
None
don't
of those
think
guys are going under.
he'll
It's Ant Hill.
he'll never be a top
Move
20
on to
pick.
2027.
2027's Arch.
Oh, you're right. It's not Colin Simmons.
Nope. Simmons gets okied, right?
Yep.
They might. I mean, honestly, they might be both like top 3, top 5 though.
2028.
And also, we just gloss over Wingo in that class, even though I know like that class is stacked at receiver.
Dude, to 2027 combines.
We also, what about Ant Hill? I get that, but what about Gooseby? I forgot to ask that. What about Gooseby? Because if Ant Hill he's a backer, so it's like he's got versatility. Of course, we know that he can come off the edge and stuff. But if Gooseby has a year and next year's tackle class doesn't have an elite prospect, Gooseby's got the length, Gooseby's got the size, Gooseby's potentially got,
maybe playing at the position of slightly greater value if they see Ant Hill as an off-ball linebacker, which I don't think they will. And it's a possibility. I don't think it's a distinct possibility. And as great as Gooseby's been, and I've been the one banging the drum, right? He has not been Ant Hill.
All right, we'll go Ant Hill, Arch Manning.
Yeah.
2028.
So 2028, we're talking about guys who are either sophomores now or redshirt freshmen.
Yep. So
we're talking. That's what was 2027. Right?
I don't think we can do 20. Wait, I'm so confused right now.
I don't think we can do 2029. I think this has got to be the freshmen or the red shirts.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay. So if it's freshmen or red shirts, gosh, I'll just throw out
Cade Phillips.
But you also have Justice Terry and Lance Jackson.
Cade Phillips with his size.
You have Jonah Williams.
He's a safety. I'm going to go Cade Phillips because he's going to be 6'2", 200 pounds, locked on in the SEC, and he's going to get a top 10 bump.
Is there any way that KJ Lacey could be a one and done?
KJ Lacey's not big enough. Well, I mean, he would have to run Bryce Young pure. I don't know if he can do that. That's like completely best case scenario. I don't think best case scenario. I don't think if there's a best case scenario for Justice Terry or for a Cade Phillips. I think you have to have best case scenario just because of the size that KJ is at the quarterback position.
Best case scenario, I have enough tequila to last me until maybe tomorrow night. No, I'm not going to make it to Monday. I'm going to run out on Sunday if I don't get. So look, we're creeping up over 500 of you guys in here. It's because of the Specs chat line, and thankfully Specs is just such a great sponsor. I think I'll be heading over there tomorrow to pick up some tequila. My everyday drinker, of course, is Hornitos, and I'm going to talk to my guy there. I'm going to say, hey, dude, what wine is good for whatever I'll be preparing that night? And they're always so helpful, man. Specs is so awesome. It's so much cheaper than everybody else. Thanks so much to Specs. Let's hear from them.
At Specs, it doesn't cost a lot to turn a good time into a great time, especially if you like saving money. From connoisseur collectors to aficionados of ale, you'll find bubbly bliss at any budget with a Texas-sized selection of world-class wines, rare spirits, craft beers, and more. So when you're getting ready for a good time, Specs is ready to make it great. Because at Specs, the fun starts here.
Shout Specs, low priced, amazing. Here's to you. Cheers to saving.
Yes. Cheers to you. Cheers to savings. Thanks so much to Specs, man. We certainly love them. Cody, every night when I'm tucking my kids into bed, I tell them, we say our prayers and say good night. I love you. Cheers to you. Cheers to savings. It's just that's how we do it around here. We're a Specs household. So thanks so much to Specs. Thanks so much to Poncho Outdoors, our other great sponsor, and of course, myperfectfranchise.net, our good friend Andy Ludicky. Is the voting up for final takes yet?
Indeed.
Okay, well, make sure and go vote. Many more of you watching on X. There are 10 times more people watching on X than there are on YouTube right now. So if you guys on X could come over to YouTube, that's where you're going to have to vote.
2 votes.
Yeah, only 2 votes so far. Well, this not great. And for everybody who's watching this over the weekend, thank you guys for being here. We understand this is a night show, and your routine is it is what it is at this point. We record the show at night, and we get 95% of the views the next day or the day after. But we love having you guys, and that's why we always tell you guys we have the emails, the FWF emails at gmail.com. We get to interact with the chat live, but if you can't be here, it's totally cool. We thank you guys for being here, but email us, FWF emails at gmail.com. Got an email from our friend, one of our friends, Tom, that emails in a lot. Shout out to Tom. I'll get back to him. He wanted me to bring up a subject on the show that I cannot, I'm like, Tom, how could you ever think that I could talk about that on Football with Friends? It's just like, there's no way I'm delving into that one. Cody, make sure to remind me to tell you after the show what he was saying that we needed to talk about. I don't think it would have gone. I think it would have gone over about like a fart in church. Are you up for final takes or am I?
You go.
Okay. Let's see here. How about this one? What's more likely? Another draft one. Cam Williams falling out of day 2 of the draft or going in round 1 of the draft?
Oh, dude, this is more likely to fall out of day 2. I don't think either one of these things happens, but I think him falling out of day 2 is most likely. You'd be hard pressed to find somebody that I think truthfully has had a worse process, pre-draft process, unfortunately, since the Ohio State game. I know it ended
Kyron Lacy.
But his at least happened and it just like went up in flames. And
Kyron Lacy's had a worse. He was charged with like manslaughter or something.
Yeah, but I think he tried to fight it. I don't know. I haven't heard his name. Like you heard his name once and you haven't heard it since.
But Kyron Lacy's not going to get drafted. But as far as guys is like non.
When was he going to get drafted? He was going to get drafted like the 4th round.
Would that not be a big deal to you if you've been working for this your whole life and you were going to get drafted in the 4th round and now you're not going to get drafted and you're having to fight a legal battle?
Honestly, I'd rather be a UDFA
than a 4th rounder. You're insane. You're insane, dude. Now you're just arguing for the sake of arguing. Dude. You can start saying that stuff whenever we get to 6th and 7th round. I think
that's fair.
But yeah, I'm like you. Neither of these is going to happen. I don't think. But I did talk to Cam Williams just really briefly at Pro Day. I'm like, what's going on, dude? And he's like, I'm still rehabbing. I'm like, is it still the knee? He's like, yeah. I'm like, so you're not gonna be able to test, Cam Williams is not gonna be able to do anything. He's not gonna get any pre-draft workouts on. And people have concerns about him. They're like the yo-yo weight, I don't want to say exactly what somebody told us something kind of rude about how he was performing on the whiteboard, Cody, but suffice it to say, he hasn't been he's not been, they don't really see him as an all-star pupil as far as his understanding of what's going on when they're drawing stuff up on the whiteboard based on what a couple of teams have said. So there's that. And he's not going to be able to answer any questions about his athleticism, which is really sad to me because I think he would have like run and jumped and stuff better than most people would imagine. You know what I mean? I think he would have helped his stock. People have been like, oh gosh, well, this guy's actually pretty athletic. He's athletic, dude. You should watch him play basketball. He's an athletic guy. So yeah, I agree with you. It's been a tough draft process, but nowhere near as tough as Kyron Lacy. All right. Do you want me to do another one, or do you got one you want to throw?
I got one. I'll go here. I'm participating in a Superflex Devy mock draft right now. You can correctly tell me where the 2 Texas players went in round 1. It's a 12-team Superflex Devy mock. So Devy, for those listening that don't know, It's like a fantasy football draft, mock draft.
It stands for developmental roster.
But for players that are currently in college. So anybody next year's draft, the year after, and the year after. So any incoming freshmen all the way up till next year's draft class. 2 Texas Longhorns went in.
Okay, so first I got to guess who the 2 who went in round 1 are. So this includes this season's
Superflex.
This includes this season's rookies?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to say that Arch went at the 101, and I'm going to no. Who did, was it Lagway or something?
Jeremiah Smith.
Did Arch go 102?
Yep.
Okay. Ryan Williams 103?
Yep.
Ryan Wingo 111.
Nails.
Nails. Oh, dude.
He was the
we are degenerates. We're talking about a super flex Devy, a dynasty super flex Devy mock draft. I mean, what are we doing here?
He went at 11. Evan Stewart from Oregon went 112. And just for conversation's sake, DeCorian Moore went 204.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I would have taken DeCorian Moore earlier than that.
So it was Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams at the 3, Cam Coleman I got at the 9, TJ Moore from Clemson at 10, Ryan Wingo from Texas at 11, Evan Stewart from Oregon at 12, Jordan Tyson from Arizona State at 201, DeCorian Moore at 204, and then Carnell Tate from Ohio State 207.
How did the rest of how did it go after Arch and Ryan Williams?
So it's Arch, Jeremiah Smith, Arch, Ryan Williams, Lagway goes 4 from Florida, Nicholas Singleton from Penn State, Bryce Underwood from Michigan,
Sellers,
Nussmeier, then Sellers at 108. I got Cam Coleman from Auburn. Then you have that receiver run, and then Jeremiah Love, the running back from Notre Dame.
You took Cam Coleman over Wingo?
Yeah.
Why? Just because you get him a year sooner?
They're in the same class.
Wait, I thought Cam Coleman was a sophomore last year.
Was he? I thought they were in the same. I'm pretty sure they were in the same class.
I could very easily be wrong. I probably am.
Yeah, 2024.
Okay. All right.
He was the rivals class last year was Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, then Coleman.
Fair enough. Okay.
And then Micah Hudson.
Cam Coleman's in that class too?
Yeah, dude. Cam Coleman's in that class.
2027 wide receiver class is insane.
Sicko.com. Yeah.
Gosh. All right. Let's see here. We got time for. Gosh, we're running. We're getting through the show here.
Do this prize picks.
What?
I gotta get your thoughts on a prize picks.
Okay, well then pull it up. I don't know which one that is.
Flex Friday UFL edition. I got 2 picks in. I need one more so I can get my Flex Friday protection.
I've already used my Flex Friday, but I got to put in a.
You got to get a UFL in St. Louis Battlehawks, Houston Roughnecks, kickoff tonight in about 8 minutes. I got Justin Hall, receiver, 51.5 receiving yards. I know Money Beast tapping in. Hakeem Butler, 48.5 receiving yards. Hakeem Bustler. And the other one, I don't know what to do. I know you drafted Lorenzo Lingard in our draft last night. He's torn his ACL like 6 times.
Yeah.
Kirk Merritt, only 17.5 rushing yards, I think is up there. Anthony Brown, though, at quarterback is another one that I'm thinking about, rushing yards. Anything that just like sticks out?
Yeah, I mean, for the St. Louis Battlehawks, I would say that Jacob Sailors, is there a rushing attempts for him?
No. The only attempts is Lorenzo Lingard.
Well, dude, I mean, so they have the pass attempts for Manny Wilkins, the quarterback, at only 14.5, and they only have Jacob Sailors at 55.5 rush yards. Jacob Sailors is going more.
Okay. What about Manny Wilkins? You wouldn't go. I mean, if Wilkins not going to pass it, he's going to run it, right? He's the rushing quarterback from Arizona State.
Are we really going to bet on Hakeem Bustler?
I mean, he's the best receiver in the freaking league last year. He's
No,
he's
no,
like
he-
Megatron in the UFL, dude.
Jontre Kirkland was the best receiver in the league from
No.
a PPR standpoint.
Yeah, but this is, I mean, Butler's Megatron.
So you're going Butler more,
Yep, I'm going
And then-
Butler more and Justin Hall more.
Justin Hall more than 51.5. All right,
Yep.
I'm putting that in with Jacob Sailors more than
All right, I'll do Sailors then.
more than 55.5.
Flex play.
I've already used my Flex Friday on a stupid baseball one. So let's see if we can turn 20 into 100 there. All right. Let's see here. We have, okay. I mean, you and I both had this one. So I'm going to pull it up. It's about, it's the Deion Sanders stuff. 5-year, $54 million extension. He's only, it's like only, what was it? Kirby, maybe Dabo, and one other were higher than him. And to me, the first thing I thought was, okay, does this mean that he's there for like he's just settled in and it's Coach Prime at Colorado, and that's that, and forget about any of this stuff about Florida State opens and he's out, you know? And for two, is this the best time to do it for if you're Colorado? It feels like next year is going to be a pretty big transition year when his son, the quarterback, is gone. Travis Hunter's gone. Jimmy Horn Jr. is gone. I mean,
I think what it does is it the new quarterback situation's coming in, so I think it gives him a sense of strength in the recruiting conversations. It nips the NFL stuff in the butt, and it gives him like a bit of not that he ever needed this because he's an alpha male, but it gives him a sense of like, I don't have to worry like if we win 4 games next year, right? So his buyout is like 12 million, 10 million, 6 million, 4 million, 3 million.
his buyout goes down to 6 million after only 2 years.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay, so he's going to go to Florida State.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Florida's going to open. We'll see.
Florida State will, maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, he got so here's the thought was 10.8 over Sark's 10.6. Sark just got that 10.6 bump, right?
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, from
Deion Sanders making more than Sark, man. That's
Kirby's at 13.2, Ryan Day's at 12.5, Dabo's at 11.1, Deion's at 10.8, Sark is at 10.6.
Well, dude, look, it's how it goes with everybody. Like, it's how it goes with these quarterbacks in the NFL. It's like you sign the biggest contract, and next thing you know, somebody comes in, they sign a bigger one, they sign a bigger one. Next thing you know, you're like, you were the highest paid, now you're the 6th highest paid. And it's like, it is what it is. The market is what the market is. I'm not sure it's for the best for Colorado.
Well, I think it's interesting that group I just listed off is like national champion, Deion, expected soon national champion, and Sark.
Yeah, and you know, back to back trips to the CFP semifinals across 2 different college football conferences. So yeah, it's definitely interesting for sure. So what's the voting at? We got to cut it off here, right?
The voting is at 13 votes, 62 to 38.
Cody wins.
Alex wins.
Alex wins. All right, but only 13 votes. It's like we're both big losers. We can't talk these people into voting. 13 votes. Almost 600 people watching.
Pitiful.
13 votes. Look, I'll take it. Cheers to you guys. Cheers to savings. Now, you can email us, fwfemails@gmail.com. You can find Cody on X at Cody Carpentier. I'm at Alex Dunlap NFL. You can find all of our content over at orangebloods.com, where we need to remind you there is still until Sunday the big 50% off your first year of Orange Bloods. So use the promo code UTSpring25. That offer, again, is only valid through the weekend. You basically get Orange Bloods for like $4 a month, $4.50 a month. And look, it's like Hotel California. You can check out anytime you like, man. But the fact is, you're never going to leave. You're not going to. You're going to love it. You're going to love the content. There's so much of it up right now, and it's a barrage. It's too much to even read. And the personalities and you're not going to believe Orange Bloods if you're not on there. If you like this show, you like these shows on Orange Bloods Live, you're going to love the website and the Inside the 40 Acres forum. It's the best community that there is. So check it out. 50% off. Promo code UTSpring25. The best coverage you will find of the Texas Longhorns in the sports realm and the best community. All right. As usual, just 4 different things we're going to ask you guys. Please like the show. Please subscribe to the channel. If you have friends that might like the show, let them know about the show. And if you're just watching the show for the first time, or you've just been watching this week and you dig what we're doing, just keep on coming back, man. We love how the show's growing. We're building it. We're trying to do something special here. And we really appreciate you guys. We want you to have a great weekend. We want you to spend some time with family and friends. We want you to be safe. All right. So go out there. Don't do anything that we wouldn't do. All right. All right. We love you guys, man. God bless you. For Cody, I'm Alex. We're done.